Greetings everyone, you are most welcome. We are here in the continent to seek solutions for African problems. We have started with the statement of Dr. Desina, the President of African Bank, when addressing the COP27, that those who utilize their resources or add value to their resources are the ones who become rich, and those who export their resources as raw material are those who become poor. And Africa, we are poor because we have been exporting our resources as raw materials. So today I want to share one thing about between Africa and other countries about the issue of environmental. Recently you have heard that the European Union Parliament has passed the resolutions to stop Uganda from exporting their oil and natural gases because of environmental distractions and other issues. Also, the late president of Tanzania, Magufuli, was also denied from construction of hydroelectric power because of destruction of environment. This means that Africa, if we are not careful, we have resources that is not going to be benefiting the Africans. At this time when Africa, we are talking about industrialization of the continent. Africa, we need the resources like electric power and other kind of resources like natural gases and oil. But because of this destruction of environment that has been imposed on us, that when you want to export your resources, to use your resources, someone will come and say you are going to destruct the environment. Stop doing this. This is going to make Africa poor. And this is another trap that Africa we have entered if we are not careful. I have listening some of partners, development partners to the continent of Africa said they are going to provide loans for the continent of Africa or some countries in Africa for their energy transition. The countries such as Germany, after they started the war in Ukraine, they expand their coal mining industry. China also expanding their coal mining industry. But in Africa, some of the Western countries told African countries to stop using their coal mine because it is the source of greenhouse gases. So while China is expanding their coal mining, Germany also, but Africa not expanding or not implementing their project or their development project. So this is another tragedy that Africa we are going to enter. If we are not careful, Africa we are going to be poor more than today, because these countries, they are using these policies to undermine the continent of Africa. We have, as I said, Uganda has been denied from exporting their natural gases and oil or to build their pipeline from Hoima to Tanga in Tanzania, because they say that this pipeline is passing through the environment, or it's going to destruct the environment. It's going to affect the elephants. That is not true. We Africans, as we look around, we have preserved our environment since then. This is the area where people are just conducting their activities. Also, there are some areas in this place where I'm standing here, where is virgin. It is not already touched by anyone. There is virgin land here. So I'm just trying to move around this continent or some places in this continent to show you the realities. Some people can stay in the office and say something that is wrong about this continent. We Africans, we are preserving our environment. Despite we are just distracting, not we are distracting this environment purposely. For instance, people are using fertilizers. And we know, many of us, that fertilizer is the source of destruction of oil. Africa, since then, we are using manure to facilitate our agriculture for food production. When the technology came in, they said, no, don't use manure. Let us go and use fertilizer. Yes, after using fertilizer, our soil now is not good productive. So we have distracted our environment because of fertilizer. who is the source of this fertilizer? Who manufacturing this fertilizer? It's not Africans. It is outsiders. So we have entered in the trap. We are distracting our environment because we are entering the trap of others. So let us return to my point. The point is that Africa, we have resources and we have huge source of energy that can make Africa rich. But at this time, the world is passing the policies of preserving the environment, and these policies is going to affect the industrialization of the continent of Africa. Because we have coal, now we are not going to use coal. We are going to use another source of energy. In Africa, we don't have those technology. So we are going to hire people from outside to invest in their technologies. So we are going to pay. As you have heard, you have already promised to get loans to support any transition in the continent of Africa. So we have got loan for Millennium Development. We have got loan to recover our economy from COVID-19. Now we are going to get another loan from partners for supporting any transition. So we have a lot of loans, and these loans is the source of poverty in the continent. So our coming generation is going to suffer more. This is the truth, and this is the reality. So as Africans, let us choose and decide for the better of this continent. There are some big countries that has denied to sign the Paris Agreement to reduce carbon emission. And you know those countries. But because Africa, we are weak, we have agreed. So we are talking about industrialization, and people are saying about environmental preservation. So don't do this because you are going to distract the environment. Don't industrialize your countries because you are going to distract the environment. Yes, if you want to do industrialization, come to me and I will give you another source of energy. But if you have been given those technology, it is not free. You are going to buy or you are going to get a loan for those technology. So it means you are going to be poor again. So that's why I'm just sharing this, because I see Africa that we are going to be poor again, and more than today. The coming generation will suffer if we are not careful. And it is better for Africans, as I said, to think about the future of this continent. If everything we accept from others, what they are just saying, because there are some people who have been benefited from coal, people have benefited from hydroelectric power, people have been benefited from industrialization, like Europe, America, all are benefited from this. Only Africa, we are not benefited from this. And these climate change effects are not caused by Africa. Africa almost contributes 3%. You can see, but Africa now, we are going to suffer if we are not careful. So let us preserve our environment, but let us choose the better way to move as Africans. Not everything is working for Africa. Let us find African solution for African problems, and this will work for us. I urge the people in the diaspora, you have a technology, you have idea, please come home and bring those technologies, bring those ideas that will help the people of Africa. If we want to industrialize this continent, it means we need to use our resources. If we are not going to use our resources because of the policies of destruction of environment and so on, Africa, we are going to be poor, and we are not going to achieve anything, and we will become more independent than today. And the coming generation will suffer because of our decisions. And they will wonder how these kind of people at that time, what have been they doing? Because they are accepting this. Why we are accepting these conditions while some people in Europe are still using? China is still using coals. China are using the hydroelectric power. Why Africa, when it comes to Africa, we want to move from this technology that we have capabilities to move another technology. Let us use benefiting from this technology first, then we can move to another technology. Germany has already benefited from coal. Germany have benefited from wind. Germany have benefited from solar energy. So even in Africa, let us invest first in those stuffs, then we can move to another kind of energy. Otherwise, we'll be defeated. Let me stop here. I will not speak for too long, but my message is that let us Africa use our resources. Don't listen everything from outside, because there are some people who are using these opportunities to make business and to make money for their countries and for their children and their children to come and their future generation, to make sure that their generation will continue to be rich while the generation of Africa will continue to be poor. Thank you.